After last night, Town sit in 5th position. They could go second with a win tomorrow. That's right. There's another game on the horizon. It's Oxford City tomorrow night. Oxford City, Oxford United. Oxford. I'm a mare already. Only 15 seconds in. It's been a long week. But it is the Talking Town show, and it is live right now. Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your match preview. I'm your host, the Gov, and we are definitely playing Oxford United tomorrow with a chance to move to second position. That's right, do not adjust your championship tables, wherever you may get them from, BBC, Sky, Google, wherever you get your championship tables from, do not adjust your sets because Town could move second with a win tomorrow away at Oxford United. I am joined by two wonderful people, and I'm really excited about this week. It's been a long week, but I'm excited about this week because we started the week with Alex and George, and then we had the whole City game. We had ITFC Beard and Stephen Parry with us. Then last night was Steve. There's a lot of Steves, so bear with this one. Steve and Steve was joined by Owain. Nice to see him back on the platform. And then tonight we've got Steve Thompson and Alex Wilson back with us. This is what this platform is all about. Different voices, different opinions. And me and Alex have already had words backstage in regards to a segment later on in the show. We don't agree, which is going to be fun. But we'll start this week, as we always do, with our gut meter tests. Don't know why I did that for. It's very simple. How confident are you heading in to this game? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 5 being a defeat, 5 and 6 being a draw, 7 and above is a victory. And I want to know why. So I'll start with you, Steve. Before you do, don't forget we are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths and Match Bingo. More on those later. Right, Steve, how confident are you heading in? Because AD Croucher is a 10. He's a 10. He's a 10.
He's a 10. I wish I could say 10, but I'll go 8. I'm confident. I'm not 10 out of 10 confident, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Okay. You're feeling... What gives you that confidence to feel that good?
Well, the last few away games have been obviously very, very good. You know, a couple of 4-1s on there. Another, obviously, a great away game against Hull. Well, I wouldn't say great, but another win against Hull the other night. So away form is looking good. So it does give me some confidence there.
Some confidence. Okay. All right. So you're not a 6-7, as Mark Ashton squeezed into his video yesterday. I know many people have responded to that one. Did you like that on the video yesterday, Alex? Mark Ashton doing a 6-7?
Yeah, it was typical Mark Ashton, wasn't it? He knew what he was doing. Typical Mr. Ashton.
It was something else. It really was. All right, so that's Steve.
But then he can't exactly come out and go, yeah, we're going to trouse you. We're going to... It was a diplomatic answer, I thought.
Yeah, well, he worked it in there. He's got fair play to him. He's clearly up on his trends, which means he probably clearly should be watching Talking Town. Good evening, Mark. Alex, as he probably isn't, you're okay to be not confident like Steve, but perhaps you are like Steve. Perhaps you are super confident. Town head in, having won 3 away games, 4-1, 4-1, 2-0. Hull were in 6 when we beat them. Are you confident? If so, what's your rating and why?
Yeah, I'm going to go 9. 9. I think we've got the monkey off our back of winning away now. Yeah, Oxford drew midweek, but obviously they were playing against the team that are going to go down this year, so that's all fine there. But I think we've got enough quality to sort of get past Oxford, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So you're both confident, and why shouldn't you be? 80's a 10. I imagine the away form has played into 80's 10 there. DD photography is an 8. Chris McTaggart is an 8, and Lynn is got to be a 9. Lynn is on a 9. No one is. I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to resist the urge. I'm going to resist the temptation to do it again. I really am. I so want to. Oscar's torn on this one as an Oxfordshire lad. If we win it, it'll be awesome. But if the U's win, it will keep you know who in the you-know-what, which is absolutely a fair point, although Town must always take President Oscar. So Town absolutely have to win. And Upper Town says, love a notification bell. Good evening, team. Upper Town. That is where it's got to be. Hit the notification bell if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed yet, why not? It's free. Come on. For all your Town news, fan opinion and more, and gaffs. Like, you don't get gaffs anywhere else like at the top of the show, you know, where you just completely say the wrong team as to who we're playing. Happy days. Happy days. It's not like we plan these things, is it, fellas? All right, 1 to 11 time. I'm going to tell you, I don't know why the graphics aren't working today, but there we go. They're not. All right. They're not. And just because I've made them, you can have them on the screen. There it is in the background. It's all going wrong. It's all going wrong for me today. I don't know why I bothered. Why did I get out of bed this morning? I just don't know. But here I am. 1 to 11. I'm going to tell you the team from Tuesday in case you've forgotten. You'd be forgiven for forgetting because it does change quite a bit, as we heard on the show. And I want to know, very simply, how many changes you're making and why you're making those changes. And you can play along at home. Let us know in the comment section, whether live or on catch-up, who you're changing and why you are changing them. And while you do that, don't forget we are partnered with Match Bingo. Remember the word Town, all in caps, for a 100% deposit bonus. That's right. You can get a 100% deposit bonus when you use the word Town, all in caps. The deposit minimum is £10, and while it's bonus cash and can't be withdrawn, the winnings can be. So you get a 100% deposit bonus by using the word Town, all in caps, and combine the excitement of live sport with the thrill of bingo, which you may need. Because I anticipate Oxford, perhaps, even though the home side may have looked at Wrexham's performance away at Portman Road and sort of thought, okay, let's replicate that. Let's play a low block, perhaps. Let's invite Town to have plenty of the ball, 500 passes, and let's see if Town can break us down. And if they can't, let's see if we can steal one. So you may need the thrill of Match Bingo. Over 18s only. T&Cs apply. Please gamble responsibly. Visit BigGambleAware.org for more information. Link in the description or scan that QR code on the screen to play now. Right. Here's your team from the whole victory. Christian Walton was in goal. Darnell Furlong, O'Shea, Greaves, Davis, Cayuse, who I anticipate you will be making a change. He was in a boot after Hull. It probably will come a little bit too soon for Jens Cayuse. Matasiwa, McAteer, Nunez, Jack Clark, and George Hurst. I started with Steve last time, so I'll start with you, Alex. How many changes? And by the way, congratulations for calling Tube Rakpom up front. That was an absolute masterstroke. Kieran McKenna clearly heard it, or Mark Ashton was watching and clearly heard it and passed it on to Kieran McKenna. However it got to Kieran McKenna's front door, it got there. Congratulations, Alex. Take a bow. Take a bow.
Thank you, mate.
So how many changes are you making and why?
I toyed with 4, but I'm going to go 3.
Okay. 3 changes on the road. Another 3, right?
Yep. As you quite rightly said, Jens is going to sit this one out. And I think there's only one man for the job, which you'll be quite happy to hear. Jack Tierlow's going to come back in and partner again. Yep.
All aboard that bandwagon.
So, yeah, for me, I think, especially away from home, I like the two of Taylor and Matthew. I think he gives us a bit more bite in midfield. So then I'm going to stick with my man Tuba. He's going to start up top instead of George Hurst. I don't particularly see that happening, but it's what I want to happen. Mm-hmm. I think, he now needs to run it. He's proved he can be up top because not only did he score, but obviously he had that good shot that was saved by the Hull keeper that was then followed up and saved again by Darnell Furlong. And then number 3 is going to be Jaden Philogene for Jack Clark.
Okay. Is there a reason? I mean, I know Jaden Philogene did impact the game positively when he came on, but is there a reason behind that particular switch? Because obviously Jack Clark has been in form himself.
Yeah, but I think I kind of agree with what I think Steve was saying after the game, that it wasn't one of Jack's best games on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I think, with other games coming up, I think it may, with Blackburn obviously away on Tuesday as well, I think it might be one to get sort of, I think Jack is very good at driving at players and sort of, just bullying his way through. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think with the point that you made earlier about Oxford potentially playing low block, it maybe needs a little bit of trickery or something to unlock it. And I think Jaden's better at that side of things than Jack is.
Yeah, a little bit of magic perhaps around the 18-yard box. Later said he scored with his head. Nunez, head. Love it, Laters. Appreciate the comment. Nunez in the 10 for AD Croucher. We've got Chris McTaggart, who's still in hospital with his knee after his knee surgery. Chris, I hope it heals well, my friend. All the best with it. Talking Town will keep you hopefully entertained. If not, just come and laugh at me and all the gaffes I do, because it's going to get worse as the games start coming thick and fast. It really is. It truly is. All right, so your team then, Alex, would be Walton, Furlong, O'Shea. You're leaving Greaves in the lineup. Davis, Taylor, Matasiwa, McAteer, Nunez, Jaden Philogene, and Chuba Akpom up front. That would be your lineup. That's your 11.
Yeah, I think so, because I toyed, the fourth one I toyed with was McAteer for Egley. But, you know, I think I read something that McKenna said that McAteer was outstanding on Tuesday. Don't know if I'd go that far. But the only way that McAteer is going to get any better is by playing. Mm-hmm. I don't think you do him any favours by, you know, constantly sort of taking him out, putting him in. And this could be me being disrespectful to Oxford, but because it's Oxford, maybe leave him in there for like one more game with a view to keeping Egley sort of fresh for Blackburn and Coventry next week, and bring him on if you need him.
All right. Okay. Judging by the Match Reaction show, judging by last night's show and the various shows we do throughout the course of the week here on Talking Town, I'm not sure many people are watching at home, whether live or on catch-up, will be agreeing necessarily with keeping McAteer in the lineup. But I don't disagree with your thinking. I don't disagree with perhaps, you know, keeping the faith if he was outstanding in the manager's book and rewarding him. Steve, you've heard Alex's 3 changes. You've heard what was the lineup from Tuesday. How many changes are you making? If you're making any changes, perhaps you're going to be the rare person that says, you know what, McKenna should absolutely not make any changes from the starting 11. Forget those that came on. I don't think you will, but I'm just sort of trying to set the scene of what you could do. But what are you doing?
Similar to Alex's 3 changes, 2 of which are the same. I would be replacing, obviously, Kiyesta's the obvious one. Kiyesta for Taylor. I would also Akpom in the 9. Akpom for Hurst, I think would be brilliant. You know, we finally saw him get that goal against Hull, and I think that's going to do him the world of good. I really hope they start coming thick and fast now, because I want to see him doing so well. But the different one would be McAteer for Egley. I've not been won over by McAteer, and I know the logic. I understand the logic of, you know, play him because he'll come good if you keep playing him, and there's no good chopping and changing. But I think he's offered so little from what I've seen in the past couple of games that I think Egley. I like Egley, and again, he's a similar sort of thing. You know, he's obviously come to a whole new league, whole new country. You can see him getting up to speed. You can see him improving game by game. And similar sort of logic, you know, play him, keep playing him when you can, and you'll see him come good as well. So, yeah, 2 changes I definitely agree with. One obviously is forced, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But for me, I'd keep Clark on ahead of Philogene. But yeah, McAteer out for Egley. I think it'll be my.
So you're making the forced change, which obviously is Kayus dropping out of the lineup, Taylor coming into it. The only other change you'd be making from there is Sindravali Egley coming in for Casey McAteer. Mabby67 says, I wonder what the odds on McKenna not making any changes are. Don't be silly, Mabby. They're going to be astronomical. I don't think you'll get a bookmaker that will give you those odds. Well, no, perhaps they would, actually. It's easy money. I don't know. Find out. Let us know. It's always worth the cheeky pound, you know. If you get really high odds, always worth the cheeky pound. Always worth 100 little p. Right. DD says, Jaden to start for me. Drop Jens for Nunez. Put Egley in the 10. Okay. Yeah. Been thinking behind that. Mabby says, I see Egley moving into the 10 when Wes is back firing. Again, potential is there. And you mentioned Chuba Akpom. You both did. But Steve, you mentioned Chuba and obviously getting that goal and hoping the goal's now flown. I've been saying for a little while now on the show, for those that have been watching and paying attention and listening, and which when I speak, no one ever does. So probably it's brand new to many people. But I've been saying for a while that Chuba Akpom kind of needs a big December. With January coming up round the corner, in 30 odd days, you've got January. The window is open. And I don't want to talk about budgets because it's budget week. The only budget we're concerned about is Mark Ashton and the one he controls and how much he's going to release for a centre forward. So Chuba Akpom, whether it's a 10 or a 9, do you feel he needs a big month in the same way I do? Because it's a chance for him to get up and running, get into some form, but also quieten down any whispers in those numerous boardrooms we've got around Portman Road now to a potential reinforcement coming in.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because there's been a lot of talk of, when January comes around, getting the market for another striker. Because we've got George Hurst, who's not set the world alight this season. We've got Azon, who's the same, to be honest. I think it would be great for him. And if he gets a run out in the number 9 role, if he gets a few more goals in, I think it's could do him the world of good. And that it would quieten down any sort of speculation, any rumours, murmurs about someone else coming in, because it would then knock him obviously further down the pecking order. It's only a positive, isn't it? Having him in the 9 is only a positive. So, and he's played there. Was it Borough? He played in the 9 role.
He's played there various clubs, in his career. And you can definitely do it, Alex. And you called it, and you must have been so pleased when that goal went in. And then afterwards, I credited George Nunn with the shout, which, by the way, I am sorry about, because it was yourself. But you must have been so happy, not just because you were right. Obviously, everyone likes being right, but more so because of what it means in terms of getting, hopefully, we touch wood, this player up and running, who could be a big player for town.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was getting to that point where he just needed a goal from somewhere. Yeah, and he's not going to score many easier than that, to be brutally honest. But you've seen sort of dribs and drabs of what he's got in his locker. Through some of the shots he's had that have maybe not come off. For me, I think possibly he maybe came in with a little bit of pressure as well. Because obviously, the back and forth between us and Birmingham to get him in. So I think, the way that was built up, on social media and us as fans was maybe going to be that he was going to come in and sort of hit the ground running and have 10 goals already. But you've got to remember, maybe he was playing in the Dutch league, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I'm sort of wrong in saying this, but compare the Dutch league to the English league, is the standard quite the same, or so maybe it's taking a little bit of time to get up to speed. So, but I think hopefully now the shackles will be off and we'll start seeing the player that we thought we were going to get.
I don't know enough about the Dutch league to say for sure whether it's not like the Scottish league where you can speak with a little bit more authority or confidence in where you place that in terms of competitive level, etc. But the Dutch league is one of those leagues. I know there's some great teams in that division, but in terms of comparing it, I'm not quite sure I can do that. But what is interesting is DD Photography has given 5 Talking Town memberships. Thank you so much for your generosity, DD. We really, honestly appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. And welcome to 5 new members, whoever they may be. You get access to the Discord as a thank you. Discount off merchandise. Head to our Etsy store. You get 15% off for being a member. You'll find that in your YouTube posts. Head there. You'll find the code and then you can go shopping crazy. But you mentioned reputation there, Alex. Or you mentioned pressures, and I actually thought, as you were speaking, perhaps one of the pressures was reputation. You're signing Chuba Akpom, who, you're right, has been in this two-way battle of, is he going to Birmingham, is he coming to town? But also, it's Chuba Akpom. This is a player that scored a lot of goals at this level. He's going to score goals. He's got this ability at this level. That comes with its own pressure. That came with its own, expectation, which can sometimes be difficult to meet, or takes a while to get up and running.
Yeah, and I think very much so. And you've got to remember, yes, he's a seasoned striker that had played in this country before. Obviously came through at Arsenal, played at Hull, Middlesbrough. But, he'd been over in Holland. And, whatever you say, him coming off is still going to involve a move from Holland over here. So, it's going to involve a settling in period. It's that thing of did McKenna know where he wanted to play? Does he see him as a 10? Does he see him as a 9? So it's like he can't really settle in until he knows what role is expected of him.
You certainly feel like with the way the deal come together all of a sudden out of the blue, and obviously we don't get to see the inner workings of a football club through the transfer window. It could be something that they were working on for weeks and months. But from the outside looking in, it came together very quickly in a Birmingham. I think we're almost there, and then Town came in and said, "Actually, we'll take him off your hands," and then the player had to decide that you're right. Perhaps a figuring out process of where best to play him, or what the plan was around him, or whatever. As I say, we're not part of the inner workings of a football club. Sadly, we continue to work on that one. Steve, coming to you, obviously, Sindra Valiegli mentioned in the 10 role. The chat loved the thought of Sindra Valiegli playing in the 10. Oxford, perhaps, going with the similar approach to Wrexham. I don't know. If I was the Oxford manager, that's the one I'd be following. I'd be asking Town to come and break me down. Maybe where I'm heading with this is quite simple. If you play Egley in the 10, could you then play Nunez further back up the pitch in a more deep-lying playmaker role where he can pick the ball off O'Shea, should O'Shea be fit, off Greaves, if it's Greaves playing, or Kipri or whoever, and then he can look to be the visionary with the football. But then ahead of him, you've got Egley with pace and power. You've got Jaden Philogene with his trickery and ability. You've got Jack Clark, who's ability to run at players, or you've got Casey McAteer with some pace that you could perhaps thread the ball through. Does moving Egley just one position to the left for this game open that whole thing up with Kayust not available?
Yeah, potentially. Because Nunez in the 10, he's been great sometimes. Other times he's been a bit anonymous. He's not really done much. He's been a bit inconsistent in my eyes, really. Egley in the 10, I'd love to see him in the 10, to be honest. He's been doing great on the right, but yeah, and then like you say, it gives Nunez sort of an opportunity to become a bit more of a playmaker, maybe take his time a little bit more. You've got two great wingers there. If you have got Philogene and Clark playing together as well, you've got two great wingers there as well, which he can feed the ball to. I would still have them above McAteer, to be honest. And then, Egley in the 10, and I think he can score some absolute bangers from the 10. So, go
and that would feed back into the wider plan you would have thought. Because I would have thought with Smodix and Akpom both fit, Nunez perhaps would never have gotten that opportunity in the 10. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the whole plan of the season was. But obviously, Smodix is a 10. Akpom has played the 10 more so than not. So you're allowed to then put Nunez back into the position you perhaps thought you were bringing him in to fulfill. Yeah. Mike in our chat says Egley is no 10. Well, Egley certainly thinks he's a 10. He said in the press himself that he sees his long-term future at 10. So he obviously believes in his ability there, and many of our live chat do. Nunez is always looks like he will make something happen, says Trevor. Leighton has gone for Palmer, Johnson, O'Shea, Greaves, Batasiwa, Nunez, Egley, Jaden, Clark, and Akpom. Very interesting that neither of you have taken Jacob Greaves out, which I think speaks to his performance on Tuesday. It really would feel harsh if he wasn't in the lineup, but also equally not surprising if he wasn't in the lineup. It's very much like that. Colin says at the moment Egley would get crunched in the 10 role in the Premier League. He certainly could do it. All right, we're going to go score prediction now. Score prediction, and if Town are going to score, who their first goal scorer will be. Stephen Thompson.
3-0 Town. Another clean sheet on the roads. We'll have a bit more early goal. It's going to be an early goal, and it is going to be Nunez. Does get it.
I think that's key, right? If you are going to play on the road, or you are going to play against teams that perhaps are going to low block and sit in and try and beat you with the similar game plan as we've seen over the last 4.5 years, Steve. I think two things are very, very important. That early goal and set pieces. Because set pieces, if you can get something from a set piece and just steal a goal, they then have to come out a little bit more, and that game opens up. So I think you're spot on there with that early goal. I think that's so crucial.
Yeah, for sure.
Tomorrow night.
And I'm going to say, so it's going to be Nunez that scores first, and it's going to be one of his insane free kicks. Free kick, good position, back of the net, job done.
Set piece, Mark Hudson statistics on set pieces going for the roof. He'll be loving it. Alex, what about you?
I'm also going to go 3-0.
Oh, I'm glad I'm sitting down, boys, because 2-3-0 predictions on a match preview show. It's not like Town have won 3 in a row, is it, on the road? Oh, crazy.
Yeah. And I'm going to go 2 Brackpon.
Is it going to be early?
Yeah, I think I agree. It needs to be early because I think you need to get a goal early to get them to come out.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they'll just sit.
Yeah, and you know, you don't want to go back to that game last Saturday ever again. It isn't one you're ever going to see on videos, on the retro videos on this day in 20 years' time. You ain't ever going to see this game. You might hear it mentioned, but you ain't going to see it. But that whole complexion of that game changes if Town are able to nick a goal early doors, because Wrexham then can't have the same the same style, the same tactic. They can't afford to sit because they're chasing, and then it opens itself up. So I think more so at Portman Road, that early goal is going to be so important moving forward. Whoever you're playing, perhaps less so a top 6 side, they'll have confidence and belief that they can beat you at their own game. But certainly some teams in this division, the blueprint has been laid. So Town have to start fast, and why not start tomorrow? All right.
I think we need the win just purely because it then puts the pressure back. With us playing tomorrow night, we win puts the pressure on the team playing Saturday to sort of better us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and don't forget, it is live on the television, so do, if you can, watch it. Stephen says, Stephen doesn't say, Stephen, thank you ever so much for a £3 super sticker. Stephen coming through in the clutch. Thank you very much, Stephen. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. I'm a bit annoyed this game's tomorrow. I'm going to be honest. I'm very annoyed because my beloved Chicago Bears are playing at the exact same time, and this has never happened in the history of Ipswich Town and Chicago Bears fandom, and I'm so annoyed that because I like to devote my time to one and then have my time for the other one, so I'm a bit upset. But we are where we are. Thanks ever so much, TV schedulers. Lastly, I've got my beef with them. I've got my bee in my bonnet with them, believe me. Lastly, we had a little interview. We didn't have an interview. Jacob Henderson had an interview with Mark Ashton, which went up on the Town socials, TV, YouTube, etc. yesterday. Part 2 of the stadium improvements, the infrastructure plan. I don't know what they've called it on YouTube. I can't remember, but that's basically what the video is. Takeaway thoughts. I know Steve's been so busy with a young family and life that he hasn't seen it. Can't blame you. Just go and check it out for the... Ready, boys? 6, 7.
I may have to shoot in a minute, if that's okay, because I have got the little fella to put to bed.
Yeah, it's all right. This ain't going to be a long segment, believe me, because I'm going to do this in more depth over the weekend, because as Alex found out before the show, it's a few things have got me riled on this one. But you've seen it, Alex. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm impressed. To see some of the work that has gone on to make our club what they have done, they really are putting their money where their mouth is, which they said they would do. And I think it kind of just shows how much our club had fallen into disrepair, and how we all fell out of love with the club towards the Marcus Ashton. Marcus.
Whoa, easy! Don't confuse the two. Come on, Mark Ashton will not be impressed with you confusing him with Marcus Evans.
And some of the stuff that they seem to have implemented that they've done really well, but it just seems so simple. Why hasn't
it was often the simple things that Marcus Evans just didn't get right in so many different areas of the business. And it just didn't. Mabby says that's a mug of oxygen, because earlier in the chat we've got somebody saying, is Mark Ashton doing the coffee cup as a joke now? Mark, going to get you one of these bad boys. All right? Going to get you one of these. So next time you're on an interview, I want to see it. You can have your coffee in there. It will never taste as good as it tastes in a Talking Town mug. Believe me. Caveat. Can't guarantee it'll be a good coffee. I wonder what sort of coffee they've got at Portman Road. That's an interesting. Anyway, that's a separate story. Anything else before we go? Because I know Steve's running out of time, and I'm building up to have it at the weekend.
No, I think I'll leave the debate that you're going to have at the weekend. All that I will say is that he could have helped himself by maybe elaborating on that a little bit more than he did.
Well, that's why I'm not going off on it now, because I want more details on it. I want to know how it's going to work, the ins and the outs. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. But Alex is impressed. I'm impressed with all the work they've done. They've certainly put their money where their mouth is. Full credit to every single person at that football club now. It's all pulling together as one. It's all moving as one. They're singing from the same hymn sheet. Players, staff, training ground staff, backroom team, everybody. And it's always good to see. Don't forget, we are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths. Quality care since 1985 in Stowmarket. That's a long time to deliver quality osteopath and physiotherapy services. Give them a call on 01449 613 633. That's 01449 613 633. How do I know it off by heart? Because I phone them all the time myself. Help me, please. Help me. That's how I know it off by heart. I haven't got to read it. We're done. Like and subscribe. Join me tomorrow for the match reaction show. I am joined tomorrow evening by Curtis and Coxie. 2 more people, 2 more voices, 2 more faces on this platform. Don't you just love to see? That's what we're all about here at Talking Town. I might do a watch along, but I'll be honest with you. I do also want to watch Chicago Bears play football. So I'm weighing up whether I do a watch along. Hey, Steve, it's up there with the Formula One, right? If you had the Formula One to watch at the same time as Town, you've got to make those choices. It's sacrifices.
I would be torn.
It's sacrifices as we're going to make.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But until then, Alex Wilson back on the platform once again. Love to see you. Steve Thompson delivering some Town thoughts. Check him out on the F1 show, Talking F1. Go and find it wherever you find your podcasts. Always a good listen. And it's got my brother on it as well. And he'll be on with us in a few weeks when we preview Sheffield Wednesday. Because he's a Wednesday fan. Don't know how it happened. It just did. Anyway, take care. God bless. All the best. You've reached the end. Thank you so much for watching. Hit here to subscribe. It's totally free. And hit here for more Talking Town videos. I'll see you on the next one.